Good morning. This is Allison Bonilla at Focus Life Coaching. I wanted to share with you how difficult it is for some people, actually, let me be honest, for me, to move from work mode to vacation mode. I am a little bit of a type A personality. I will be honest and confess that. And I tend to move from project to project. And even though I started my vacation a couple of days ago, I realized I had not really moved from project and profit mode to people mode. I came home, and when I came home, I realized that I had so many projects to be done. These are projects that had needed to be done for quite a while, but I was busy closing out my office for the end of the year, which is a busy time for me in my practice. And when I got home, I realized, oh, I had all these household chores to do. I still had some Christmas gift wrapping to do and various things. So I've been up and down all over the place. And it occurred to me that that's really not what a vacation is for. A vacation is really about connecting to people and connecting and doing the things that refresh you and do a little bit of self-care. So I hadn't gotten to that yet. And I gave it a little bit of thought, trying to think, well, what's preventing me from doing this? Yes, chores need to be done, but frankly, chores always need to be done. I don't think there's ever a time that I stop and say, oh, everything is done. I have nothing to do. That's not my life. I thought a little bit about it and I realized that how for so many of us, especially those of us who work, we are constantly in profit or project mode and we rarely get to people mode. I could think of so many people right now that I would love to connect to. People who I've seen through the years, people from way back when. I would love to call them and say, hey, how you doing? I see pictures of them on Facebook and the kids growing. I like their pictures, but that's not really true connection. And usually when I pick up the phone, it's like time has just slipped away. Even if I've seen that person 10 years ago, I'm constantly amazed how you could get on a phone with someone and it really just feels like, wow, we just saw each other yesterday and we could catch up so easily. And for me, many of those conversations turn into an hour-long conversation where we catch up. So that's the first thought in my head when I think about connecting to these people. I think, oh, I don't have an hour yet. I really don't have an hour yet to talk to them. And I know there's so much I want to catch up with. So I do one of two things. I put it off. I'm like, I will talk to them when I have time to sit down with a cup of tea and relax and then just spend time talking to them. Well, reality is their lives are busy too. They probably don't have an hour to talk to me either. But the moments are so precious and so rare. We carve that time out when one or the other makes an attempt to call. So I put off because I think the time is too short, or I push back and I plan to do it after most of my projects are done. I'm like, as soon as I get this or as soon as I get that done, that's when I'll do it. That reminds me of a friend that I had, I still have, years ago. She would call me at least once a week or every other week, and her conversation typically started with, oh, girl, we got to get together. I really want to get together with you. We really have to get together. And it would usually end that way too. Yeah, let's make time to get together. We never got together, but we did at least talk on the phone. So pushing back means you plan to do it. You plan to do it after all your projects are done. Your projects are never going to be done. Trust me on that. So what should you do instead? I think you should just plug in, not push off, not put back, but just plug in. Plug-in means how you just go and connect. It may sound impulsive, and for people like me who type A personalities, we don't just do impulsive things. We plan it and we make sure it's all organized and sorted out. But in terms of connecting with people, a little bit of impulsivity, I think, goes a long way, especially if these are people that are meaningful in your life. So just pick up the phone and, as the commercial says, just do it. Again, what about that fear? Oh, I really don't have a lot of time. And what if they want to stay on the phone a lot longer? As I said, I think their lives are probably busy also. So I think you're fairly safe in making a quick but meaningful connection. What does that look like? What does a quick but meaningful connection look like? Well, there are phases to a quick but meaningful connection. And those are the things I really want to focus on today. One is, well, first you have to actually do it. You have to pick up the phone and connect. And I don't say connect with just Facebook or one of those social medias, but actually hear somebody's voice. Great if you could FaceTime them so you could see body language and things like that, but definitely at a minimal, hear their voice. What does a quick, meaningful connection looks like? It looks like first part of the conversation should be an assessment. You hadn't heard from them or seen them for a while, so you assess for their welfare. We do this naturally when we say, "How are you?" This time when you say, "How are you?" pause, wait for an answer. Listen for the answer. People want to know that you care. They want to know that this is not just a quick, "Hey, how are you doing?" And they say, "Fine." If they say fine, then ask a more probing question, something related to some aspect of their life that you're aware of. I see the kids on Facebook all the time. They're really growing. And wait for more information. Wait for them to open up some part of their life to you. They may share about one child, they may share about parenting, they may share about their job, a new promotion, a car they're thinking of getting. There could be so many different things they could share. But please wait to go beyond the "I'm fine," because the "I'm fine" sounds terrible. "I'm fine." Well, I'm fine too. Oh, well, that's good. I just wanted to know how you were doing. All right, I gotta go. No, that's not a meaningful connection. So once you get some bit of sharing with regards to any aspect of their life, you just want to also maybe do some reciprocal sharing. Again, this is not you taking over the conversation, taking over the show. This is you saying, "Wow, I'm so happy to hear your kids are graduating and they're heading off to college. That's awesome. I remember when my kids did it. It was a little bit of a turbulent time for me. Are you feeling that way about it?" So again, hand the ball back over to them, because again, you want to connect with them. You want to share a little bit of yourself with them so it doesn't sound like you're interrogating them, but you also want it to be meaningful in that you're open to hearing more about their lives, and you're giving a little bit of your life in the process. So you assess, and then you share, and lastly, you affirm the relationship. What does that sound like? Well, that's usually at the close of the relationship, where you could start to say, "Well, it was wonderful hearing your voice. You know, we've been friends for over 10 years, and I still am so delighted that 10 years ago we became friends. I'm so glad to have you in my life, even though we don't speak very frequently." A statement like that, it affirms the relationship. It lets the person know that everything that went before was meaningful, that you were connecting with them because you valued them as a person. It could also be a way of signaling the conversation is about to close. You can make a statement such as much as I love talking with you and connecting with you, I only had a brief moment of time, and I just thought, let me use this time to connect with my friend or my child or my parent. So I'm so sorry, but I do have to go. You have a wonderful day. Hopefully we'll talk soon in the future. Now, the next thing I want to caution you about, please don't promise to call or visit or do different things unless you really mean to do it. If you don't have an intention to visit, don't say, I got to come and visit you sometime. I harken back to that friend again, still a friend, who was constantly promising to get together with me, and she never took the initiative to do that. So only make promises that you know you can keep. I want to encourage you in this season where there's so much busyness. The Christmas season is when I'm recording this right now. Is please make an attempt to move away from projects and profit. If you can, really connect with people. That's the best investment you could give in your life, to make connections with people and to value people. This is Allison Bonilla, your Focus Life Coach. Dream big, set goals, and take action.